So thankfully, after episode 1, I got back to Tbilisi intact, albeit while driving through an electric storm without a window. But once back, I found a place to get that window repaired, and what better way than a mobile repairman with a storage unit in the form of a former market stall in the suburbs of Tbilisi. He did a stunning job on the side of the road, and all for the price of £12.50, which just left me with the task of hoovering. If you haven't seen episode 1, then do check the link above. I highly recommend you watch that prior to this episode, as today we return to the same lost monastery site, but this time in search of autumn colours.
Like smoke from a gun, like a brand new sun. Since the day I was born a fighter, I rise up, like smoke from a gun, like a brand new sun. Since the day I was born a fighter, I rise up, I rise up, I rise up, I rise up. Since the day I was
So here we go again. 4 months after our first visit to this location. We've slightly mistimed it, but we were sitting at the top a second ago and realised there's probably not actually a perfect time of year to actually photograph this location. It's one that we've kept under our belt for about 4 months. We keep coming back to it once a month to recce it, to see how the changing seasons. You saw my incident just a minute ago from back in August, I think it was. Yeah, August. And this is what we've got now. Much more autumnal, loads of nice colours, beautiful location. It's one of mine and Jade's absolute favourites so far here in Georgia that we've discovered anyway. I've already shot inside the dome back in July. There's a really nice ceiling inside, and I want to show you guys kind of some tips and tricks on shooting ceilings and shooting upwards. And then we're going to be looking, as the sun drops, we're going to get a nice external, which actually in August and then September I've recce'd some locations around the hill behind the camera location here. To try and get some compositions lined up ready for autumn. So as that sun drops over the hill over there tonight, we're going to try and capture like the final shot, the kind of really nice evening shot, maybe even shoot into blue hour and just get some really nice sunsets dropping behind the monastery itself. So yeah, let's crack on, let's get some shots, shall we?
Close my eyes and finally I hear you when I go to sleep. It has to be our destiny. And I believe, and I believe in love. I believe in love.
The once rich monastery was built in a dense forest, and this influenced the distinctive architectural and artistic features of its structure. For instance, the main entranceway to the monastery is spacious and vaulted, with wide arched passageways decorated with half columns and ornamental carvings. To the south of the chapel, near the wall and amongst trees, there is a wall connected with a rumoured secret passage, which heads into the nearby gorge. Then there's the artistic shape of the cupola, which is the rounded dome adjoining the roof. It is unique not only in Armenia but in world architecture. The drum of the cupola is a decadral shape, which means 10 surfaces, super rare in Armenia, The inside of the cupola is also very original, with a construction made up with 3 pairs of intersecting arches which form a 6-pointed star, the Armenian 6-pointed star. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to get my geared head like this. Hang on, let me just move that. As you can see what I'm saying. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my geared head and I'm going to actually put it into the downwards position like this. Lock it in, make sure it's locked, and then I'm going to move my camera around, turn it around and point it upwards. Make sure it's locked in, make sure it's nice and solid, and it is. And then we have the upwards position. We now have the same movements, of course, as we had prior. From a photographer's perspective, ceilings offer a wealth of opportunities. They are normally rife with patterns, lines, features, frames and light, a photographer's dream for great composition. It's tough for me to give you my top tips for ceiling composition, but I can mention that some photographers I know connect their cameras through their phone or tablet via Wi-Fi, say, or Bluetooth, which is fine if you have one of those brands that allows this, and it helps, of course. A flip-out screen would help as well. However, I don't have many of those abilities with my Canon 5DSR, so I tend to keep my tripod fairly high, so that I don't have to lie all over the floor. And I'm also patient when lining things up. I take my time, eventually focusing at the furthest point. I also tend to use my 16-35 or 24-70mm lenses. You could use the equivalent for your camera brand or model. And what I then do is then zoom in to say 35-50mm and check my composition throughout my focal range before returning to my chosen focal length, so zooming back out. This really helps to nail that composition. These are some of the shots I captured of that ceiling.
Down into an open grave. Is there another way? Is there another way? And the nails pound harder in the coffin light. Come and beat again, oh breathe again. Whoa.
Hope you've enjoyed this montage. Hey, we've done a location hunting, location finding. We've recce'd it over 4 months. And now we're finally trying to get the shot that we lined up, really. Myself and Jade were looking at this all the way back in June, July time. Now how I've done is I've lined it up. I've recce'd this spot exactly where I am last month. I've been all around here actually. I've been all over there, all over on the left hand side as well, and I really like this bit here. The reason why, because a bit like the composition in the camera you've got there, you might not quite have it, but the mountain behind the monastery dips and then meets the spire and then goes off again, bounces back out of the spire into the distance. And also we're pointing towards the sunset. Beautiful golden hour kind of at the moment, just kicking off. We've timed it really well. It's really been a really nice day actually. So yeah, we're gonna hang out here. I'm gonna talk you through my shots, and this is gonna wrap up the video. It's been a really interesting location for us to kind of come here, recce it and find it and shoot it, and that's just the trials and tribulations that we face here in Georgia sometimes. But it's been great, and this is hopefully going to wrap things up. We were worried that we kind of missed autumn, but actually if you look at the monastery, just around it, it's still yellow, red, and those tones. And obviously when the sunset is now kicking off, and the golden hour is going to kick off, it's going to emphasize that a little bit anyway, that golden light. I'm going to shoot it now with the light that's just at the backdrop there, and then we'll talk about some further shoots. Yeah, mate. Okay, so the clouds are just kicking off in the distance. And I've shot one shot. I quite like the way that the light is hitting the back mountain behind the monastery. That's looking really nice. I'm shooting f8. I've focused obviously on the actual spire itself. ISO 100. I'm capturing a bunch of brackets. I haven't got any filters with me today, which was a bit of a mistake because it really emphasises that you know, the colour tones. The main ND filter we've got is on this video camera, but yeah, it's nice, it's looking good, and I'm just going to stand here and shoot it through because we don't know what's going to happen, what will happen to the sky behind. Let's find out, shall we? The thing is with this area, when we came in August, it was always cloudy here, like the whole time. It was never actually like very good sunset, sorry. It was just always a bit flat, a bit naff, you know. But it is a cool location, it's a really tough one to shoot. I've only got one more shot idea in mind for this place, which is in the winter when it starts to snow. You know, that'll be an absolute epic shot. Of course, there'll be no trees, no interest at all around the monastery. The trees will all be, well, not dead, but you know, they'll all be without leaves, no foliage. It's looking good. The sun's still in the sky, I believe. We've got about 10 minutes left, and hopefully things are going to light up at the back there because there is clouds in the background. It is looking a bit purple already. What I've done is I've set my white balance at the moment in camera. I'm trying to do Kelvin temperature. So I'm about 6,000 at the moment and it's looking absolutely fine. My brightest exposure then helps with those, you know, those trees. Looking at making it look nice and orange and yellow, really nice colours, nice colour palette. Was it? Oh, gets even more interesting around these parts. There's gunshots. Oh, hang on a minute. I know what that is. You're fighting with Azerbaijan. Since I came in the first time in July, obviously the region that's sitting over my shoulder here is all Armenia and Azerbaijan. And they were fighting over Nagorno-Karabakh, the de facto region. And of course, that means that there's still threats in Armenia. And what they're doing, you can hear in the distance like gunfire and tank fires. I imagine that they're dead rounds, you know, and they're just trying to warn Azerbaijan that they could do it again. But it is just over our shoulders here. It's all just gunfire keeps going off, like boom sounds, which is quite crazy. And that shows you how close we are to Armenia. Clouds are looking good though, so let's get back on subject. As before, with this, I'm at 70mm, and I feel like it's a bit wide still. 70mm on my 24-70. So what I might do is I might get my 85 on in a second and just go a little bit further in, compress it a little bit more, you know, which I think will make it look a little bit nicer, especially as the clouds are kicking off. Really nice tones in the background at the moment. It's really, really nice. So yeah, let's put the 85 on. Okay, so I'm just getting that last shot. I'm going to switch to the 85 now. I haven't used this lens a lot, obviously, in the last few years. It's one of those lenses that obviously is more like a portrait lens, but the focal length from that is probably going to work best. So let's check it out. I like it, it's good. I'm over, there's kind of rocks in the foreground of this shot. It's a different sort of shot really. It's a little bit more compressed. I might also get a wide shot because, you know, we're here. But for me, we've almost seen the best of the sky already. So we're kind of nearly there and the sky looks really, really nice. I'm just going to check these shots. Yeah, the sky looks amazing. Caught 3 brackets, 2 stops apart, but I think we can get away with probably one. One for, might need a second one for the foreground, but apart from that, we're good to go. To wrap things up, I might just get a wide shot, but I think we've done everything for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed this whole episode. I know it's a long one, covered lots, we've had lots of ups and downs. Until next time, do us a favour if you'd like this, please do like it. I love the way the channel's growing. It'd be nice to see this continue. Leave us a comment below. I'd like to hear your feedback. Until next time, bye bye for now.